Hello, my friends. Welcome to CJ Reads Books. I'm CJ, and today we're going to be talking about my April reads. So, in April, I read 9 books. I listened to 2 audiobooks, and I DNF'd 1 physical book. So, without any hesitation, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start out. My first book that I read in April is Fly Away by Kristen Hanna. I gave this book 5 stars, and I do recommend it to people. So it's the sequel to the book Firefly Lane. And Firefly Lane was really cute. It was originally a Netflix adaptation. I watched that one first. It didn't change my mind about the book at all. The book was fantastic. The sequel is a little darker, more emotional. Definitely ties up the ending of the sequel. So it's perfect. Her writing is gorgeous. It does have addiction, loss, trigger warning, so be aware. The next book I read is Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and I gave this book a 3 stars. I would maybe recommend it to people. So it's a mix of Hunger Games meets Fourth Wing, but without the dragons. Has lots of like warring and like a lot of violence, and yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea exactly, but the first book left it on such a cliffhanger that I did get the second book, and I'm gonna continue reading on. The next one I read is Hellbent by Lee Bardugo, and I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars. And it's a maybe also because what floats my boat may not float yours. A lot of people have told me or asked why I don't like this book, and the answer is I don't really know. The plot line was a little different for my taste. The first one I feel like I could follow a little better because we were just learning about the characters and learning about the things. So we were all learning. The main character was learning. We, as readers, were learning. But in the second one, I feel like it was a little rushed, and the plot line was just scattered. It was just everywhere. So I didn't keep up with it as much as I should have. The next book I read was In the Shallows by Tanya Byron, and it's a yes for me. It's an LGBTQIA book, involves people of color, and it's really awesome to see a person of color who is also a lesbian being portrayed in a book with supportive people all around them. It's about the main character who dates this one woman who won't give her the time of day. But then when she loses her memory and gets amnesia, everything is perfect except when it starts falling apart. So it was a really good, like, suspenseful, like it kept the story going. It was really quick, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Next is L'Ariel by Garth Nix, and I did enjoy this one. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. At first, I had no idea what was going on because it was not set in the same environment or the same characters as the first one, and it didn't get me quite on track until about midpoint. So I was really confused at first, but after midpoint, when certain plot lines and storylines unfolded, it was better. It was a lot better. So I really enjoyed it. Yes, I will recommend this to people. The next one is Divergent by Veronica Roth. And yes, I do recommend this. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. And although it is a little like Hunger Games. There are a lot of books like Hunger Games. Like, they just throw you in the middle and you begin fighting. I don't know what's the fad about these books. I don't like the violence, to be honest, but a lot of people do, so I can't really say nothing about it. I do like this storyline though, and I believe that it's definitely worth pursuing this series. So the next one that I read is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This one was a book club book for March for Catherine's book club. It is a romance. Not only that, it's a sports romance. I liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was probably because the content. Of course, I don't like any of you know, the spice parts, but it was it was a good flow. Really good. I don't know. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it, except it was really spice heavy. But I mean, it's a romance book. What else am I gonna expect? But I wasn't expecting to like this book. So yes, I do recommend it. Next is What We Are Looking For is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama, and it's translated by Allison Watts. And yes, 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 I do recommend it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It is from Mikael's Book Club and Fable, and it is awesome. It's a collection of 5 short stories, but it's all tied together from a librarian and from the same library that they all go to. And it's so serendipitous. It is so beautifully written, so beautifully translated. And I enjoyed this book a lot because it shows a lot of our world problems as well as individual people and their different things that they have to go through. It's a good representation of our life the way it is now. So, yes, I do recommend this one. The next one I read was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's from the same woman that wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, and I heard that was really good. But after reading this one, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. This one's a maybe for me. So it was a good break from the fantasy because after a while, all the fantasy novels seem to kind of surge into one. And I was very fantasy heavy in the beginning of the month, but towards the end of the month, I started reading more fiction, it seems. So this one was a good break. It's about a single mother, literally, who had raised 4 kids on her own, and it talks about their struggles. It shows the past leading up to the present and all that stuff, and it was a good storyline. It was just everywhere at the same time. There were like 5 plot points and like 2 plot twists, and it was just really confusing. So, if you do like Taylor Jenkins Reid, this is a pretty good book. But if you aren't into the fiction, I would just skip this altogether. It wouldn't be worth the struggle and the time and stuff like that. So, those are it for my physical books. So, for my audiobooks, I listened to The Vampire Armand by Anne Rice, and I don't recommend this book. In fact, I would go so far as to say I don't recommend Anne Rice, at least not her vampire series. Unless you like erotic vampires, this one was a little trigger warning for me, and it tells the story of Armand, who is one of the vampires in the whole group of vampires that they, met and got along with in the first one. So this one tells his tale, but his tale is super dark and I don't like it. And Anne Rice did something terrible with this one. I don't know what she did with that. But Yeah, I rated this a 2 out of 5 stars, but I do not recommend it in the least. The next one I read is The West Passage by Jared Pechacek. It's up here. Um, and I got through 36% of the book on audiobook. So I DNF'd it earlier this year. It was one of Easy Cat's Fable book club, but I just couldn't do it. I got to chapter 26, which was about 25% in, and I called it quits. So this year I'm trying to be more realistic about the books I read and being more honest with myself about what I like and what I don't like. So I did not like this. It was not better listening to the audiobook of it either. It just droned on. It was just so bizarre. This is such a bizarre book. It requires every ounce of your imagination that I can't procure because of my ADHD. So I can't do that. But you might be able to. I don't know. But yeah, that's that. And lastly, I did DNF. Saves Cat writes a novel. Just because it's a nonfiction book, it was really interesting. Teaches you how to write a novel, but I honestly don't think I'm ready for that yet. Especially one with this much content and like heaviness to it. So I DNF'd it because I was only like on page 20. So I didn't want to continue with it just in case that I wanted to get it again from the library or even just get me a physical copy myself and be able to flip through it whenever I need to. Because it is a good book. It was very informative. But I just couldn't read it fast enough and it was a library book and it was due anyway, so I had to give it back anyway, so I DNF'd it. So those are my books read and listened to. What did you read this month? What were your favorites? What were your least favorites? So my favorite book, I'm going to pick two. I think I'm going to pick Divergent, and I'm going to pick What We Are Looking For is in the Library, because those two books, I think, surprised me the most this month. Divergent, I wasn't, I didn't think I would like it, honestly. I thought this was a dud. I got the book. I forgot where I got the book from, but I started reading it, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't. But it turned out to be one of the better Hunger Game books that I've read so far. So I really enjoyed this month's reading. If you like this video, thank you so much for staying until here. I haven't made a video this long in a really long time, so I appreciate you for staying. Down below, I have a few links. I have a link to my Etsy store. I sell blind dates with books. Even further down below, I have a link to my Patreon. If you become a paid member of my Patreon, every month you will receive all of my video edits literally right after I edit them. So on YouTube, I usually schedule posts in advance so that I don't have to work that hard. But on Patreon, if you subscribe and get a membership to my Patreon, you get them immediately. Like, you can see me read in real time. So if you're interested, go sign up. You'll receive them immediately. Thank you, Robert William, for being my one and only Patreon member right now. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for interacting with me on YouTube and on there. It's appreciated. So much is appreciated. I also have a link to buy me a coffee if you want. But if you can't do any three of those, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those will help. Tell a friend about my book reviews. Make them follow me. I need those follows, please. But thank you so much for being here. I really, really do appreciate it. Y'all are amazing and wonderful and fantastic. And I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye.